This is the process for handling both pull requests and issues for Palisados Foundation volunteers. If you go to our standard messages document, you will see a section on issue assignments and the process that we have related to that. Here you will see links to interesting usages of some of our GitHub actions. So the first thing that I would like you to take a look at is the auto assignment feature. And if you click on this link, you will see that if somebody is interested in being assigned to an issue, they can just add the /assign text in the comment for the issue, and they will be automatically assigned. However, this feature has some caveats. It will only work with persons who have previously successfully merged code with the repository, so that you have now a history with the repository, you understand how things work, and therefore you will now earn that privilege. And also, it will not work for issues created by people who are not members of the Palisados Foundation GitHub organization. And the reason for this is because it reduces the risk of people creating issues without validation from the Palisados Foundation, and it reduces duplication. It makes sure that issues that are given to pull requests are within the roadmap of the Palisados Foundation, and this is really important for us. Anybody can unassign themselves from the issue by clicking or by putting in the text /unassign, and this works universally. One of the things that the volunteers will need to do is just to go through and check the issue assignments queue in their mail inbox to validate these things. And I would suggest to them that they just do it once a day. And if 4 or 5 of us do it once a day, then this will be a much lower incident of things happening. With manual assignments, we generally want to make sure that the person has about 18 months of GitHub history, that they have consistent updates throughout their GitHub life, especially the most recent 12 months. And the reason for this is because we've been having very high incidents of AI slop in pull requests and issue creation. And we want to make sure that people just don't create a brand new account just for the purposes of practice. We are looking for people that are more serious, and this has helped. And there are caveats. We want to make sure that people have some experience, and so they may not necessarily have had a GitHub account for a long time. And we just ask in this text that they provide that information for us so that we can feel assured that we're not going to have this AI-related issue. We are not trying to limit people's participation in open source projects. We are just trying to eliminate people that are not operating in the spirit of open source and community health. So I want to talk about the pull request process. Now, if somebody is a brand new person and they've never done a pull request before, you will notice when you're doing the reviews of the pull request that there's a little button down in the GitHub page that says approve the running of the GitHub action. And that GitHub action would be running all the tests. The reason for this also is directly related to the AI automations that we've been seeing recently. When people, especially the brand new accounts, and they're using AI, they will run the tests over and over and over again. And there was one particular case very recently where over a 48-hour period, somebody did 1,000 commits to their pull request, which is not in keeping with the spirit of our organization. We have this feature put in such that if you're a first-timer contributor of the Palisados Foundation, needs to approve the workflow. If the workflows look like they're being done too quickly in quick succession, we will reduce the frequency of our approvals and warn people related to our AI usage policy. So the AI usage policy can be found also in that same web page related to the developerpalisados.org site. And if you click on AI use policy, it talks about it. And we're really trying to make sure that the AI assisted contributions are meaningful. And this policy really talks about that. It says that we appreciate the use of AI. It helps. We use it in our pull request approval process. We sometimes use it in issue creation. It's a very useful tool. However, it can be abused, and that we will have warnings to people using AI according to our code of conduct document, which is also on this page, as you can see here, and that if the behavior persists even after warnings, that the person may be blocked. So this is something that our volunteers need to be aware of as well. So let's get to other aspects of the pull request process. For all pull requests, I recommend that you review the pull request and that you verify that all tests pass. And there will be some exceptions, and you just have to keep this in mind when you do this. Some pull requests, if they're going to be adding new packages to the code base, or if they're going to be making modifications to the testing regimen of the repository, will modify some of these sensitive files. And in that case, if you see a sensitive file test that has failed, I would suggest that you click on the link and check to see what the edited file is, and then ask for clarification. If clarification seems meaningful, then just add the sensitive files pull request label that the error actually states. The error will state these files have been edited that shouldn't be normally edited, and that if everything is okay, apply this label. I don't have to show you what that process is. You can look online as to how to add a label to a GitHub pull request, and then from there we can move forward. Now, CodeRabbit is our AI-enhanced pull request reviewing system, and sometimes it will approve the pull request, but its reviewer status doesn't change, and I'll show you where that would be. So in this particular case, this pull request says that it's approved, but as you can see here, the green check mark hasn't been placed, and you just have to be aware of this. Sometimes it doesn't quite work. Typically, if you see this icon with it's asking for review comments, it's usually valid. But if it has an X here, this icon here which says requested changes, it may not necessarily be the case. So just double check to make sure. If all of these things seem okay, then run the relevant prompts below depending on the repository. So if you look a little further down on the page here, you can just, for example, with Tallow admin, you can just cut and paste this entire text like this and paste it into the comment for the for the pull request. And then CodeRabbit will do its analysis and then let everybody know what needs to be done. And then you can say to the person, please make changes according to the CodeRabbit requests. When CodeRabbit then approves everything, then you should just merge the code. You may want to, if it looks a little questionable, you may want to talk to one of the contributors or one of the contributors of the organization. But generally speaking, for the types of issues that we run throughout the year to date, you can be relatively safe that these things can be merged. Coming to think of it, rather than merging the code, it might be a better idea just to ask one of the contributors just to give it just a look over, and then go from there. I would suggest that you talk to Christian just to be on the safe side related to these sorts of activities. So I want to show you a couple cases that are instructive. Here is an example of CodeRabbit going through a pull request and then actually approving something. So here it says it requested some changes, and then all of a sudden it says it approved. Now, CodeRabbit approves according to a limited rule set. And so if CodeRabbit has approved things, you just want to make sure the prompts that we have are much more comprehensive. So what you should do in that case is to paste the prompt here, and then all of a sudden you may see CodeRabbit coming back and saying, oh, you know what? This pull request needs some additional changes. And based on that, you can ask for the person to make the modifications. There's another one here that I wanted to show you. Here's a case where the full text of the prompt was put in place. It asked for changes, etc. Changes were made. And then what you can do also, rather than pasting this text in multiple times, you can take the link for that text that you had before and then just type in the following at CodeRabbit AI full review using this prompt. Okay, and it'll show this, and CodeRabbit will actually use that again, and that way you don't have to be filling the pull request comments with lots and lots and lots of repeatable text. You can just use this methodology and CodeRabbit will interpret it correctly and move forward. So these are the most important aspects of the pull request and issue assignment process. Once again, if you have any questions, please talk to Christian and she will provide you with guidance. Okay, thank you very much.